I've chased rumors, red herrings, and more crackpot theories than a corkboard full of thumbtacks. But every once in a while, a case starts with a bad assumption. I went into Flying Saucer from 1950 thinking I was about to uncover cinema's first alien invasion picture, The Missing Link, before The Thing from Another World from 1951. A forgotten Roswell-era shocker. Turns out, I had the wrong suspect. No aliens, no invasion. Just a whole lot of Cold War paranoia circling the runway, waiting for clearance that never comes. Flying Saucer is a 1950 independent production directed and starring Mikel Conrad. Shot outside the studio system and rushed into theaters to capitalize on America's growing obsession with UFOs, the film reflects a nation jumpy, suspicious, and staring nervously at the sky. Despite the title and marketing, this isn't a science fiction film in the cosmic sense. It's a Cold War espionage thriller dressed up in sci-fi drag. Less War of the Worlds and more State Department after dark. Now, before we continue, a word from our sponsor, yours truly. Because unlike communism, this show actually needs to pay its bills. See, in a perfect world, we'd all share equally. The means of production, the fruits of our labor, maybe even a decent cup of coffee. But this ain't a perfect world. It's a capitalist jungle, pal. And around here, merch keeps the lights on. That's why the Classic Film Detective is peddling high-quality classic film gear over on Amazon. No breadlines, no committees, just you, a credit card, and a shirt that says, "I like my movies old, weird, and preferably black and white." You won't find these designs approved by the Politburo, but you will find classics like The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, Nosferatu, The Thing from Another World, and other cinematic suspects that belong to the people, legally. So if you believe free markets should include silent films, if you think art should be owned by the masses but printed on cotton, and if you want to support independent film criticism without overthrowing the government, check the links in the description below. Because capitalism may be flawed, but it does deliver shirts to your door in 2 days. Now, back to the case. The story follows an American agent attempting to recover a secret flying disc that's fallen into foreign hands. There are spies, border crossings, coded conversations, and an overwhelming sense that someone is always watching, but never quite enough narrative momentum to turn that paranoia into suspense. That said, as a product of its time, the movie is strangely fascinating. This is post-war America, knee-deep in fear of infiltration, technological theft, and unseen enemies. The flying saucer isn't an alien threat, it's a symbol, a MacGuffin shaped like a national anxiety attack. Visually, the film is competently shot. The cinematography is clean and functional, though it often feels like it wandered in from a nature documentary. Lots of wide compositions, plenty of scenery, but very little atmosphere. The camera records events, but it rarely dramatizes them. Where things get truly strange and unintentionally memorable is the sound. Every available version of Flying Saucer I found features warped, warbly audio with music and effects that drift in and out, like they're being transmitted from a shortwave radio in another dimension. It's unclear how much of this is original design and how much is the result of poor surviving elements. But the effect is undeniably eerie. Ironically, the degraded soundscape adds a ghostly quality the film never intended, and that's exactly why this movie cries out for a proper restoration. Clean up the audio, stabilize the image, and you might finally see what this film was trying to be. Then there's the issue of the female lead. Jean Wills is introduced as a capable special agent, a promising setup that quickly collapses. Her character is reduced to a damsel in distress and romantic obligation, stripped of agency the moment the plot demands it. Even by 1950 standards, it feels regressive and disappointing, a reminder of how often early genre films flirted with progress before retreating into comfort. So, should you watch Flying Saucer? Not for thrills, not for aliens, and definitely not for strong character writing, but as a Cold War artifact? Absolutely. This is a film soaked in paranoia, technological fear, and post-war unease. A time capsule from an era when the scariest thing in the sky wasn't a monster, but the idea that someone else got there first. It's flawed, timid, and frequently dull, but it's also curious, oddly charming, and deserving of a second look. With a proper restoration, this forgotten saucer might finally get off the ground. This is the Classic Film Detective, signing off.